Here are 7 tips on how to make good money with shares. I know you're there, you want to make some good cash with shares and you would like to get it right. And this is Good Joseph, and I'm here to share with you exactly that. I'm going to take you step by step 7 tips that I personally use whenever I'm buying shares. And by the way, in case you're watching me for the first time, don't forget to go ahead and hit that like button. Make sure that you subscribe and leave a comment on the comment section. Let's get on the business, okay? Tip number 1, okay? Tip number 1. Always have a plan. Have a what? Have a plan. Don't just buy shares because, hey, ABC company is going up, or this or that company is going up, or people are buying this. Just have a plan. Are we together? Take yourself a pen like this one and a paper, sit down and ask yourself, okay, I want to buy these shares. And by the way, strategize. This is my plan. I want to buy these shares. I'm aiming, say, to accumulate 100,000 in a period of, say, 7 months or 1 year or something like that. Okay, have a plan. So when you have a plan, they usually say planning to fail, or rather, not planning is actually planning to fail. Have a plan. For example, you can be like, I have 200,000 Kenyan shilling. This 200,000 Kenyan shilling, I want to take 100K. It's what I want to buy shares. And my aim is this. When I buy these shares with 100,000, probably you're buying these shares to sell them later. You be like, if I get, say, 15%, at what juncture, at whatever juncture, I'll get 15%. In other words, it's 100K, 15% of it is like 15,000. So if I buy my shares and then I make 15,000 on top, see, when you compare, look here, this is the invested amount, this is the current market value. So when you make 15,000 on top of that, you can go ahead and sell your shares and you can make some good cash out of it. So now that is what we call having a plan. Are we together? Now let's go to the next point. The next point is what we call, have what we call entry point and exit point. Entry point and exit point. This may actually explain much on having the plan. What do I mean? The entry point, this is when you are buying your shares. Are we together? And allow me to introduce the third plan so that I can explain these 2 plans together. The third plan, or rather the third tip that you can use whenever you're buying shares to make good cash, this is what we call buying on dips. You buy on dips. I'm going to explain what are dips. Dips, it simply points where the share prices are going down. Look at this wave. If you're having a wave like this, at this low point here is what we call a dip. A dip is a situation where the shares are going down. Let me use an example of Car and General. You remember I came here and I told you Car and General shares are going down? Good. Like yesterday, let me even check as I'm making this video, and I'm not gonna edit this part so that I explain my point. If I go to the my app and I check how the Car and General shares are faring, hang on a second, I show you. You see shares at around 246. Now what happens? This is a low point, okay? I'm not saying that they can't go further than this, they can go lower than this. Let's say they won't go lower than this. And then from now 246, they start appreciating and going up. So when the shares goes down, that is a dip. So you buy at the dip, you buy at the lowest point or at the low point. Are we together? And then this is where we say you buy shares in sequence. You don't go there full force, you go in sequence. So when you're buying at the dip, that is what we call at the entry point. The exit point is at the highest point. Are we together at this point? For example, there is somebody who bought these Car and General shares when they were at let's say 100 shilling. Are we together? And they rose all the way to 406 shilling. Are we together? So now this was the entry point at 100 and this is the exit point at 406. The reason why you find these shares are going down, it is because the real investors are selling their shares because they have already realized their profit. But now, how will you know now it's the best time to sell? You go back to what? You go back to your plan. What is the plan? You invested 100,000 Kenyan shilling. Let's say you are looking for say 20%. 20%. I have a friend of mine who usually chases a very weird number. He usually chases 12.5%. So whenever he buys shares, he chases for 12.5%. Even if he buys shares today and next week that counter hits 12.5%, he sells those shares. So when you have a plan, you invest 100K, you buy 2 counters, are we together? And you're chasing 20%. In other words, it means you are buying these 2 shares and you're looking to make 20,000 on top of your 100,000. Does that make sense? Yes. Now, once you buy these shares and they hit this value, how will you know? You'll actually go to your portfolio and check, and you will see this is the invested amount, which is 100,000, and this is the current value. If you were to sell your shares, it's 120,000. Then if it realizes the percentage that you're looking for, then you can sell those shares. Now, that is the exit point. Some people even exited these shares way long time ago. Let me give you an example. The recent companies that I sold is Centum. I bought Centum at 5 shillings. No, yeah, at 5 shillings. Quite a long time ago, kind of 2-ish years ago, something like that. I exited at 14 shilling. For me, it was even more than a double. If I had invested 100,000, guess what? I was heading to 300,000 because I was heading to 15 shilling, which is triple of what I invested. So I had already doubled my money. I had already tripled my money. When I bought this Centum, I was not really looking for the dividends. You see, there are some companies that you invest that they don't pay decent dividends. For example, Safaricom. Safaricom, you invest there, it's not necessarily for dividend purposes. You are chasing the capital gain and what have you. Let me repeat these 3 points. I said I'm going to give you 7, but let me stress again on these 3 points. So have a plan. So have a target. I'm buying these shares and my target is this. You may not necessarily have a target of 20%. Some, like me, I have a combination of both. I may buy shares, for example, the KCB, the equity, the COP that I have, the ABSA that I have, and others. Those ones I'm not even intending to sell them. Those ones I'm just letting them be so that at least I'll be earning dividends as time goes by. So have a plan. So if you bought your shares for dividend purposes and you realize that they have gone up and you don't want to lock in that gain, so let it be, forget about selling. But if you bought for the purposes of capital gain to resell your shares, then you can do so. So have a plan, get yourself an entry point when to buy these shares. The entry point is when, and I said the entry point is you buying on dips. Dips is the situation where the shares have gone down, then they go up. Let's use the example of Family Bank. When this company was listed, shares started from 22 shilling, went all the way to 50 shilling, then went back all the way to 24 shilling, then went all the way back to 23 shilling, then it's now coming up. So the real investors, they never bought shares at that particular time because we had a lot of noises. They waited when the market, the price corrects itself back to the reasonable prices, and now they are approaching up there. For example, if you ask me, a company that is good to buy as we speak, as of 2020, as of 28th, is it 28th? Let me confirm. Yes, 28th of August 2026 is Kengen. The price today is around 10.95%, 10 shilling and 95 cents. Good to buy because we are on a dip. Then it can actually go up there. Good. Now that was point number or tip number 3. Let's go to the tip number 4. There is something called, always do something called diversification. Okay? Diversify. To diversify is to buy shares from different industries. Are we together? Because all these companies do not deal with the same thing. Let me give you an example. We have telco-based companies such as Safaricom. We have energy or companies that deal with energy or they're in the energy sector, like the KPLC, the Kengen, the Total Energies. Now we have the KPC, the Kenya Pipeline. Are we together? We have like 4 or 5 counters there about. Then we have insurance companies like Kenya Re, we have CIC, the Britam, the Jubilee, and what have you. Then we have, likes of the agricultural, WTK, Kapchorwa Tea, Kakuzi, okay? And then we have companies that in the banking industry, that is the banks that you know. So whenever you are buying shares, please try to diversify, balance these companies. Don't get your whole 100,000, you're buying only banks. That is not good. Somebody sent me a portfolio sometimes back and I saw he had invested in 6 banks in Kenya. All the cash he had, around 780,000, was all in the banks. That is not healthy. That is not good. Something can come and affect the banking industry and you'll make losses. So it is good when you diversify. Are we together? You can have like 3 banks or 2 banks. You can have 2 manufacturing, 1 agricultural, 1, telco, and then the other one on the what. And then when you're buying those shares, try to balance. For example, let's say your budget is 100,000, okay? Don't give one company 60,000, then the other one 5,000, then 2,000, then 16,000. It's imbalanced. Just try to have like 25,000, 26,000, 30,000 or something like that. Such that when you look at that circle that they usually draw there, you realize they are almost sharing equally. Just in case one counter is affected, is only affecting, let's say, like 20% of your portfolio or 15% of your portfolio. Rather than you have like 60,000 in one company, then if that company is affected, over 60% of your portfolio has actually gone. So try to balance that so that you can be able to make good cash, and in case a loss comes in, you are actually cautioned. Are we together? Now, the other thing which is very, very important, buy fundamentals. Please, 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 please buy fundamentals of a company. Fundamentals, okay? See, some of you may not know what is fundamentals. Buy the fundamentals of a given company. Don't just buy the noises on the Nairobi Securities Exchange. I saw somebody on the comment section asking me, Joseph, you always tell us buy fundamentals, or buy, you always tell us, hey, Joseph, buy, the fundamental. What is fundamental? Fundamental, it simply means the actuality of that company. Are we together? Go ask yourself, and don't even ask yourself, ask Google. This information is in the internet. What is the market cap of Equity Bank? In other words, when you say what is the market cap, you are asking the Google, what is the value? For example, you can ask me, Joseph, what is your net worth? If, Joseph, you were to sell everything that you have, how much will you make? You get what I'm saying? So what is the market cap of equity? Everything that Equity Group owns, how much is it? Okay, that market cap. Then deduct all the liabilities and the debts and what have you. Then you are left with the net market, or the net value of that company. Then divide that by the number of shares issued out there. Are we together? And then compare that price with the current price on the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Now you're getting the PB ratio. Are we together? Understand what is the price to book per share of that company. What is the price to book ratio? What is the PE ratio? If I buy this company, how much do they pay in dividends every year? Okay, if I buy this company, how long will it take me, or how long will it take me to get back my money? Just the way you build your rentals. You take your 10 million, you buy a piece of land, you build your 10 rentals out there, you rent them at 70,000, takes you 10 years to get back your 10 million. Do the same mathematics. Understand the core of that company. Forget about the noises and what. For example, you're seeing this kind of general shares going down. It does not mean the company is collapsing, does not mean the company is going. No, the company still holds. The company still has some, what we call, has the fundamentals. Is only, these are emotions represented by the market, the emotions of the investors represented in the market. Are we together what I'm saying? So buy fundamentals. Are we together? And you can call it in a Kenyan way, fundamentals, right? We go to the 6th tip, and this is none other than what we call a never panic sell. Please, 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 whenever you realize, for example, I can see a lot of panic sell in KenGenero, and not only that, with other companies such as, Family Bank, the recent example we had. Are we together? So do not panic sell. Let me put that here. Don't panic sell. Do not do it. Are we together? So once you panic sell, that one can actually bring you some problems. And last one is what we call average down. Average down. Average down when possible. If possible. If possible. Are you together? What does it mean? You can buy a company. Let's say you bought, what can I say? Let's say you bought, allow me to use this car in general, okay? Let's say you bought this KenGenero shares when they were at 300, okay? Now they're at 246. You're already on loss. Okay? If the fundamentals of this company still holds, I repeat, if the fundamentals of this company still holds, in other words, the nature of this business, the business of this company still is viable, then you can average down. What is to average down? Remember one thing, you are already on loss because you bought it at 300, now it's at 246. So you can buy more of the same companies now at a lower price. You buy it at a lower price. So once you buy it at a lower price, you are bringing the average price of 300 down. Allow me to use a very practical example. Let's say you have 100 shares of this company, okay? If you have 100 shares of this company and you bought it at 300, so the average price of this company is 300. Are we together up to that point? Good. Now, the company has gone down all the way to 246. Let's say the price was 30,000. Now you are at 24,000. 24,000. Are we together? Now, if you are at 24,000, you have a loss of 6,000 if you sell this company. So when you panic sell, you have actually realized that loss. It's no longer a paper loss, it's a real loss. So what do? So you buy, let's say, another, assuming you have money, obviously I said if possible, assuming you have the money and the fundamentals hold. Let's say you buy another 100 shares of this company, now at 246. Tell me what will be the average price? It will actually come down from 300 probably to the likes of 250 or 260 or thereabout. If you dare buy even more, you are able to pull that price way down. So if this prices changes from 246, say to 250, you are already on profit. If it goes to 260, you are already on good profit. That is what I usually talk about, to average down. You only average down to a company that the fundamentals still hold. Please don't go average down to a company that is going to the down drain. For example, a company has some serious court cases or court issues, or maybe it is in a debt stress. The company is in the receivership or something like that. So that is not the situation when you average down. At times you can go buy shares and things go south. And you see, you are an investor. And investing is taking risk. So you swallow the risk and you say it is what it is and you move forward. And that's why I told you, whenever you're buying shares, try to leverage. Have Car in General, you have, your Kengen here, you have your equity there, there is KCB here, you have Kakuzi here. Just in case the Car in General goes down, you are able to, swallow, or should I say, to absorb that loss using other companies. And that is how you act. For example, let me give you a very simple and practical example of my case. There is one company called NSE, the NSE itself. I bought it at around 4-ish or 5-ish shillings there. It was so horrible for me. It was going down. It used to have red and what. And I know when you're a beginner starting buying shares and you see reds, you tend to feel bad. But I try even to sell those shares, but they didn't work. But it is what it is. I even say, hey, luckily I never even sold those shares, but it is what it is. So guys, those are 7 tips on how to make good money on the Nairobi Securities Exchange, or should I say on shares. This is Good Joseph. In case you need my services in one way or the other regarding investments, this is my number. You can pick it up there, shoot me a text or a call. Let's talk business. But for now, it's a goodbye and see you in the next one.